question, respectfully, sir. How is it not collusion? What do you say to those people, though, who say that it's collusion, Senator? I just respectfully go at you at that again. Donald Trump is saying that you are colluding, and we expect to hear that from him again and again on the campaign trail.
Look, I understand that Donald will whine. That's what he does. Donald is a sore loser. When he lost 5 states in a row in landslide elections, Donald threw a tantrum. And his response is to attack the voters. His response is to attack the people. Yes, I get that the Trump campaign is scared. They're scared of Indiana. If Donald wasn't scared, he'd show up in Indiana and have a debate. But he would much rather hide in Trump Tower. He'd much rather stay in northeastern states that tend to be more liberal than actually come to the Midwest, come to the heartland, and defend his policies. In the past week, Donald Trump came out and agreed with Hillary Clinton on raising taxes. In the past week, Donald Trump came out and agreed with Hillary Clinton that adult grown men should be able to go into little girls' restrooms. And in the past week, Donald Trump's campaign manager, who is a longtime Washington lobbyist, and this is important for people to understand, the entire Trump campaign is run by Washington lobbyists. It is the Washington cartel. Donald is the system. It is the lobbyists who are running his campaign. His lobbyist campaign manager went and talked to the top brass of the RNC and said, Donald is just putting on an act. This is a role he's playing. He's just on stage. He's just pretending. He doesn't mean what he said. Now, at first, the Trump camp denied that. That's their standard, is to deny everything. Unfortunately for them, it was actually caught on tape. So we have the tape of Donald Trump's lobbyist campaign manager saying this is all an act, this is all a fake, he's a phony. Interestingly enough, that's almost the exact same thing Donald Trump told the New York Times back in January when he sat down with the New York Times editorial board. Trump told them he doesn't believe what he's saying on immigration. He's not going to build a wall. He's not going to deport anyone. Once again, the New York Times has a tape. Now, the Trump campaign denies he says that, but it won't let the Times release the tape. If he didn't say he's not going to build a wall, he's not going to deport anyone, and he's simply faking it on immigration, then Donald should release the tape, and his supporters should demand that he release the tape and prove his innocence. Donald won't do that for the same reason he won't show up at a debate. Because this is a fraud that the lobbyists in Washington are attempting to perpetuate on the American people. This is a fraud. The stakes are too high for us to get fooled again. And we're all used to politicians who betray us after they get elected. Donald is betraying us before he gets elected, and he's telling us he's lying to us. And so we are fighting to beat Donald Trump for the nomination. We are going to beat Donald Trump for the nomination. No one's getting to 1237. We're headed to a contested convention. And at that convention, the nominee will be decided by whoever can earn the support of a majority of the delegates elected by the people, and I believe the only candidate who will be able to do that is me. And when we earn the support of a majority of the delegates, we're going to go forward and beat Hillary Clinton in November. Donald cannot beat Hillary Clinton in November. Nominating Donald would be a disaster for Republicans, for conservatives, and for the country. And yes, I understand that the Trump campaign is going to scream and cry. That's what they do. Whining is what they do, because you notice it is never, ever, ever Donald's fault. Can anyone think of any instance when Donald has ever said he's done anything wrong? It does not appear that he thinks that's possible, that Donald could do something wrong. So it's always the voters' fault. It's always the people's fault. It's always somebody else's fault. But Donald J. Trump, you know what? We need a president who understands the principle of the buck stops here. Donald Trump needs to learn to take some responsibility for himself. And if he wants to make the case, show up and debate. Don't hide behind your media surrogates because you're terrified of scrutiny. Answer the questions from the voters. Have it be a town hall, real Hoosiers, asking real questions about real problems. And if Donald is too terrified to answer the questions asked by the people of Indiana, how on earth is he going to be able to stand on a debate stage with Hillary Clinton? If he's scared of the voters now, how bad do you think he would be in a general election? And by the way, we've all seen a candidate in a general election who's a loose cannon, who will say any given thing on any given day, who will wake up one day and say, as Donald Trump did, that he thinks women should be punished for having abortions. That's an absurd position.
And when he walked back?
You're right, every day, if Donald Trump were the nominee, we would see a circus of loose cannon statements that he tries to walk back the next day. And that would result in disaster for Republicans across the country. Now, I get that Hillary Clinton would be thrilled to see the Donald Trump train wreck in the general election. I get that the media, the network execs in just about every network, are card-carrying Democrats. They are ready for Hillary. Nothing would thrill them more than a bloodbath that elects Hillary Clinton and gets great ratings while it's happening. That is the perfect storm from a media network executive's view, but it is a terrible outcome for the people. And this election is going to be decided by the people. And the Hoosier state, the entire country, its eyes are on this great state to choose which path do we want to go down. Do we want to go down the path of nominating a candidate whose entire campaign platform consists of yelling and screaming and cursing and insulting anyone and everyone he can find? Or do we want instead a positive, optimistic, forward-looking, conservative campaign with real policy solutions to the challenges facing this country that will bring jobs back to America, will raise wages and expand opportunity for everyone? That's what this election's about.
Senator, you've seen how angry people are.
Why wait till this